Blog Talk Radio.
Batten down the hatches. We're back on Tuesdays, and here we are, live from Cleveland, Ohio. Forget about the Browns, Cavaliers, the Guardians, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Front and center, it's the American Sports History Podcast, hosted by a brother, a mentor, a friend, Peter Ray. Yours truly, Mark Mancini, producing this in Los Angeles as I'm hiding from these Dodger fans that have come out in full-fledged colors at me. But that's a story for another day. 347-205-9631 can get you to the front of the line. If you want to catch it later, catch it on blogtalkradio.com/Mancini Sports, podcast platforms, wherever you subscribe to podcasts, powered now by Mancini Media. So more of him, less of me. Let me lay the red carpet down, put the podium in its place, hand off the mic. First of all, Peter, how are you? Second of all, how can people get a hold of you? Third of all, here comes your sidekick. And it's not Steve Carlton and Tim McCarver here. It's you and this gentleman each and every couple of weeks, my friend.
Hi, Mark. I'm doing well. I have a YouTube channel. It's my name, Peter, J. R-E-A. We make history videos. You're absolutely right. Tonight's guest played Major League Baseball from 1971 to 1981 with the Chicago Cubs, Oakland A's, L.A. Dodgers, and San Francisco Giants. He won 2 World Series. We got a World Series champion with us tonight. Again, 1973, 1974, he stole 395 bases. 2-time American League stolen base leader, 1974 to 1976. More than 1,000 hits. First Oakland A's designated hitter. He won a National League title in 1978 with the Dodgers. Led the American League 3 times in total chances per game, twice in putouts, once in assists from the outfield on the double play. And he was the igniter, the leadoff hitter and center fielder for the coolest MLB team of all time, the Oakland A's of the early 1970s. For the 8th time, welcome to the show, Mr. Bill Norris.
Hey, guys. How are you? I'm excited.
Oh, well, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Now, we last night, or last time, 2 weeks ago, we stopped. We were talking about your teammates from the 1976 Oakland A's, and I've got a couple more names from that year. What do you remember about Nate Colbert?
Big Nate can stretch out on you, boy, and he hit them high and far. You know Nate Colbert. Nate Colbert was down there with Winfield and Cito Gaston. That could have been the biggest team. Those 3 guys right there could be the biggest team in baseball ever.
Oh, yeah, San Diego Padres, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nate Colbert. Big fella. Yeah, he had 5 home runs in one day in a doubleheader. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did. Good guy, too. Good guy. He was down there at first base.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, another guy from that team, starting pitcher Mike Torres.
Mike could pitch. He went to Boston after he left us, but he went out there all the time. Those guys started, they had 35 starts back in them days. And it was the kind of thing. He was out there every time. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, in 1977, the A's, things were tough. You had 2 new managers. Do you remember what you remember about Jack McKeon?
Jack was one of my guys. He was good to me. I got a picture of him sitting right here, me and him sitting down talking. And it was Jack. He's a little messy with that tobacco, though. And the other one was Bobby Winkles, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, Wink and I go back to when he was the coach of Arizona State, and I was down there and playing on a college team of on a professional team of college guys down there, and we used to play against Arizona State, and he would have his guy running on and off the field, and I come walking off the field, smart ass me. And I wasn't on his favorite then, and then we got to know each other And me and Winks were in the same situation when we started the next year. Charlie Finley was torturing him, and he wouldn't let. And he had to come to me and tell me Charlie wasn't going to let me play because he didn't want me to get any money in free agency. So that was a tough year.
Tough year, yeah. And so you got along with both Jack McKeon and Bobby Winkles.
Oh yeah, they're some of my favorite people. And I had some good ones over there. With Oakland, I didn't have, and they ran managers through there like Grant through Richmond, and yeah, but I got along with all of them pretty much. It was easy. All they had to do was write 5 letters in the first box and put the 8 behind it.
North.
Yep.
Todd from Salem, New Hampshire. I love this show. I want to talk about Bill's Oakland Athletics. My New York Yankees of 1978 would roll your 1972 fellas. Any thoughts, Bill, on the 78 Yankees against you guys?
Why didn't they? They had 3 shots. They had 3 shots at us, and we kept going to Baltimore instead of New York for the playoffs, for the championship series. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Yep.
Go ahead.
We were a pretty good team. We could have won more if Charlie hadn't started messing around. But Yankees, they were playing in Shea Stadium back then too. In those years, they were redoing Yankee Stadium. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, you guys might have been a little young though.
Darius from Fremont, California. Sal Bando was the most underrated third baseman.
Sal Bando was a great leader. He was the leader of that team, and he was, and he took that to heart, and we followed him. But Sal was a good player. All he did was play. He didn't make mistakes. And he could hit too. Yeah. He stole some bases that year in '76, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he got in on the stolen base frenzy in '76.
341, yeah.
Darius from Albert from Poway, California. Do you think the San Diego Padres manager Bob Melvin got outmanaged by the Philadelphia Phillies?
I don't. I think that the Phillies just were, those were pretty close games, and then there'd be somebody break out. Those guys, Phillies were ready, but the Padres were too. They could have got Soto going a little bit earlier, and Machado. It would have been different, but they didn't. It's who's hot and who's not.
Okay, back to the '77 A's. Some of the players, new teammates for you. Manny Sanguillen. Any thoughts on Manny Sanguillen?
Wow. I talked to Manny a couple of months ago. Manny is one of the greatest people you ever want to meet. Man, what a player, and I mean tough, and that. But he could get mad, and you didn't want him to. But yeah, he was a great teammate and a great person, and I enjoyed being around him.
Yeah, we picked him up in a trade, but I was excited, like, oh, we got Manny Sanguillen, but he decided to retire, so he didn't play for us. But anyways, yeah, tremendous player on those Pirates teams.
He had a great career. He was from
Yeah.
Panama.
Okay.
He was from Panama, and his friend was Roberto Duran.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They used to hang together down there.
Yeah, I work with a guy, take care of the elderly, and if I ask, I give this guy something to drink, and I always tell him Roberto Duran, and he says, he's a Puerto Rican guy. He says, no mas. So
No mas.
A little bit. Okay.
Manos de Piedros, hands of stone.
Right. Right. Okay, another guy from the '77 Oakland A's, Dick Allen.
Dick Allen. You know who Dick Allen was. Dick Allen was one of the most feared hitters to ever play the game in my career. Him and McCovey and Mayberry, those guys did everything they did when pitchers wouldn't want to pitch to them. They didn't throw them anything, and they still did it. Now, they afraid of him, man, and he could hit them too, boy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Philadelphia fighter. He was a boxer. He was a Philadelphia fighter. And we used to mess around. He just leaned on my arm. And then when I went in the batting cage, I couldn't even swing the bat after messing around with him.
Yeah, Dick Allen in National League, Richie Allen, Dick Allen, the American League. He would go back and forth. But, yeah, tremendous career. Wow.
He was 40-some ounces. He was dropping
big
that
bat.
head. You know how you used to drop that head and still get it back, 40-some ounces. That's how strong he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Ron from New Rochelle, New York. Way to put him in his place, Bill. 78 Yankees were just lucky they beat the Red Sox.
Yeah. And I was with the Dodgers, and we played them in the World Series that year. And we won the first 2 games, and then they started hitting and went through us in the next 4 games like a hot knife through butter. Now, hey, that was Reggie and Munson, Greg Nettles, and Willie Randolph and Mickey Rivers. Oh yeah, they could do it. Yeah.
Okay, and more teammates from the '77 Oakland A's. Marty Perez or Perez.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on him?
Guy. Nice guy. Where was he from? I think he was from the United States though. Right. Because nice guy. Nice guy. Could pick up the ball and that. And you know, the thing is everybody happened to go through Oakland towards the late stages of their career. You know, and he was one of them, but he was a good teammate.
Rob Picciolo.
That's not how.
How do you say it?
Picciolo.
Rob Picciolo. Okay.
Yeah, he's a young guy then, and he's a second baseman. Yeah, he's quiet and that, and you know he made it to the big leagues. You know, came through that and got there. And he played once in a while, but wasn't Gardner in front of him?
Yeah, I think he was just getting started in his career. Yeah.
I knew him before he came there. I think he was Arizona State too. He might have been. Yeah.
Okay, I got a good one for you. Mitchell Page.
My boy, Mitch. Mitch played that outfield, and he would play really, really hard, but he wasn't polished, and he ran on his heels, and that when you run on your heels, the ball bounces, and he would miss a ball, and he'd get so pissed off, you know, he was trying to do good, and that, but just a wonderful spirit, and he had Michael was his brother. He had a twin brother named Michael, and I mean identical twins. But Mitch was a good man. I'll take him any day.
Yeah, I remember him as being he could hit, right?
Yeah, he could. He and Wayne Gross came up at the same time.
Yeah, that name made an impression. Mitchell Page. Okay, another guy from '77, Tony Armas.
Tony was he played right field when I was there, but he went on to have a real good career and he could hit that long ball. And he was as big as he was. He played a good center field too. You know, and they stuck him out there sometimes when Charlie was putting the freeze on me.
Okay, another guy, Earl Williams.
Yep, good teammate. Earl, yeah, Big Daddy. Earl he came up with Baker over there and at Atlanta. He used to catch for Atlanta and he was a good teammate, good party too. And
Now in '77, you only got. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting into some guys. I think Doc Ellis came there too. Yeah, I had broke my finger. I was trying to lay down a bunt, and it was a slider instead of a fastball, and it broke in right on my index finger on my right hand. Your first finger, and I was out 6 weeks and that kind of stuff. And then I had to go back. First summer I had to be able to experience summer without playing baseball in 27 years.
Yeah, that would have been tough. Another guy, Mike Jorgensen.
Yeah, nice guy, Red. He came from, I think he came from Pittsburgh too. Yeah, but just a nice guy, left-handed hitter, and he could pick the ball up at first base too. Yeah, but good people. I'm saying, did I get along with all of these people? I just have fond memories of 95% of them, which is a good thing.
Right. It is. Another guy, another pitching staff, Rick Langford.
Yeah, he was in that after I left there. He was in that group of the with I think Billy Martin, where they had 4 20-game winners. Mike Norris and who else?
Brian Kingman,
Keogh, and Brian King. Yeah. Those guys. Yeah, they could go.
Another pitcher, Doc Medich.
Doc was a Yankee for years. He came over there too. He's towards the end of his career, but he would go out there. We just didn't have too many big hitters on that team, and there were guys ending their career and guys beginning their career. And that was the last gas. But yeah.
Yeah, Doc Medich was the pitcher when Frank Robinson in '75 on opening day hit a home run as a player manager, and so that was he was a part of that historical moment when. That's what Doc I remember about.
Doc was he was an opening day pitcher, so he must have been pretty good. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, another pitcher, Dave Justy.
Yeah. I remember when I came up, Dave Justy, I was a little excited at that, and he would. The thing was to knock me down on the first pitch, and then I get mad, and he knocked me down, and then he threw me a changeup, and I had swung 3 times before the ball got to the plate. Yeah. But he came. He wasn't there long, but he was over there. Yeah.
Another guy, Doc Ellis.
You know Doc Ellis. Doc Ellis loved California, though. He was a L.A. dude, and Doc was a character. Let's just put it like that. Yeah. He was. Yeah. He had some party in him too. Good dude, though. Yeah.
Another pitcher, Steve Dunning.
Where was he, in Baltimore?
He was with Cleveland. Actually, came up as a young, right out of high school, and pitched.
Yeah. But he was. He didn't get much action over there. And I was gone for so much as a year there. I only played 50, 60 games. Yeah.
Another pitcher, Steve McCatty. Any memories about him?
Well, wasn't he in that the four group too? It wasn't Brian Kingman.
Yeah.
Steve McCatty, the 420 game winner. He's a good dude. He's a young dude, come up through the organization, and he was ready. He had a good career too. We
were talking, you, me, and Mark Mancini, and I just got to ask you about this. I mentioned won the San Diego. I've always been rooting for the Padres since they've never won a World Series, and I was rooting for them, and that's Mark Mancini's team, and so I said to Mark, I said, oh, you need Kurt Bevacqua and the San Diego Chicken. And then you said, huh, what? And then you said that you fought both of them. Now I got to hear about that.
Yeah, Bevacqua was in that. He was over there in Kansas City when I had expressed myself on this pitcher that hit me in the head in the minor league. I went to the mound and got the pitcher, took care of that, and then later in that series, I was coming around, slid into third base, and Bevacqua pushed me, and I nailed him too. And Bando and Tennis, they showed a picture later. Bando and Tennis both had him. One of them had him by the head, and the other had his knee on his back. They were twisting him around like a pretzel. Yeah.
And the San Diego Chicken?
Well, he was kind of I'm not the perfect one, but he kind of talked bad to me one day, and I kind of smacked him in his face. I felt like I never lost the fight, but hey man, whoever gets off first is the one.
And Kurt Bevacqua was the Joe Garagiola bubblegum blowing champion. Did you participate in the bubblegum blowing championship or competition?
I didn't shoot bubblegum. I didn't shoot bubblegum. I did seeds,
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably what he was good for. Yeah, he could play. They kept running him out there, but they called him Dirty Kurt.
Okay.
That was his nickname.
Yeah, and San Diego has only won one World Series game, and I think he hit a big home run, so he's forever beloved in San Diego. And he played here in Cleveland. And
was down there, wasn't that when Garvey was down there? They went to the World Series.
Yeah, right in '84, right. That's right. Garvey, Nettles, Dick Williams too. Yeah, and Gossage. All those guys.
Yeah. Amen. Raleigh Fingers too, I think.
Raleigh Fingers, yep. Now moving into 1978, let's see some of the players on that was you left or you were traded, I think, during the '78 season. Jim Essien. Do you remember anything about Jim Essien?
Yes, he was a catcher. He used to play with the Chicago White Sox. He's a good player. He was a tough guy too. And he was an undersized catcher, but he was tough. And he'd go to war. He came to play baseball. You can bet that. Yeah.
Dave Revering. Anything about Dave Revering?
Yeah, he's a big kid. He played first base too, I think. Yeah, a big left-handed hitter. He had big legs, couldn't run. But he's a nice person in that, but he got to play. Yeah, he was a young guy then.
Gary Thomason.
Well, Gary's just passing through. Gary had good years with the Giants. Yeah, and that we came up at the same time, played in the Texas League at the same time. He played in Amarillo.
Gary Alexander.
Yeah, he was a young catcher, just coming up. and he was from the Giants too, I think. Or he ended up being over there. But yeah, young black kid, and but he could play. He was a good player. I was leaving out. I left in May, I think, or late April. Yeah, go to the Dodgers. Yeah.
Miguel Delaney.
Out of all the players on those championship teams, I was the last one to go.
Yeah, that must have been tough.
Well, hey man, it's what it was. But Vida was the one the last one before me to go, and then he went over to San Francisco, and then I ended up coming over there in '79. But me and Vida have been friends for a long time. Yeah. But.
How about Miguel Delaney?
He could run. He was one of Charlie's greyhounds. Yeah, he was a young outfield, skinny kid from I think the Dominican, and yeah, young, getting ready to play, and he played for a bit. Yeah.
Another guy, Del Alston.
I can't remember him.
Okay.
He might have came after I was gone. Yeah.
Okay. Willie Horton.
Will. Yeah. Willie. I was gone by the time Willie got there, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Willie Horton. Willie Horton was like one of those guys that when I came up, we'd go to Detroit and we'd go to his restaurant. And I talked to him a little bit ago too.
How is he?
He's doing good. He's kind of sore, the knees and all of that. But Willie was a smart man too, and he had charisma. He played out here, but he was always, those older guys. He was back there with K-Line and them, and he was like a mentor, to a bunch of guys too, but he was always nice to me, and we, like I said, we talked, a little bit after Claudel died, and and I got his number.
Yeah, and he won a World Series in '68 with the Tigers with all those. Yes, whenever you win a World Series, people are going to remember you. And of course, he did have a tremendous career. We had him for a while, I think half a year. So I was pretty happy when we picked him up.
Yeah, they were shipping him around, but he was good to have on the team, and he was a generous guy, and he took care of the young guys really, really good. And that he was one of those sages. You could sit around Willie Horton and learn a lot of stuff about the game of baseball and hitting.
Yeah, and they had riots in Detroit. I think it was at '67 or was it maybe '68, and he went to the riots so he played a role trying to calm people down to and so that was he played an important role in Detroit history.
Willie Horton was one of them guys that if you started having to fight, everybody'd be avoiding him, and he'd stand in front of the dugout and tell everybody on the other team, don't move. And because if you move, you had to face him, and I didn't see anybody running to get after Willie Horton. He was like Don Baylor. Everybody
big dude.
Everybody likes ice cream, but don't nobody like a whole truckload of it.
Yeah, Willie Horton. Wow, that was really something. Well, the time has flown by. We've got a minute to go here. Our guest has been Mr. Bill North, who played Major League Baseball from 1971 1981, and was a starting center fielder in the Igniter. Got on leadoff hitter, stole a lot of bases. So the coolest MLB team of all time, all those guys, Sal Bando, Bert Campaneris, Dick Green, Gene Tennis, Joe Rudy, Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter, Vida Blue, Claudel Washington, all those guys. And he was on that team, so it's just, to me, wow, what a gift to have Bill North on the show every 2 weeks. Bill, do you have any final words tonight for our audience?
Well, one of the true virtues in life is when everybody is losing their head, you keep yours, fans. Okay.
That's right. Let's keep our heads. Yeah. So anyway, thanks so much, Bill, for coming on the show again. Wow, we'll be back with a week from tonight. We're going to have Eric C. Gray. That's going to be in November 1. He wrote 2 baseball books, Bases to Bleachers, a collection of personal baseball stories from the stands and beyond 2019, and Backyards to Ballparks, more personal baseball stories from the stands and beyond 2022. And in 2 weeks, on November 8th, we'll have Bill North again. Dear listener, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Good night, everybody. Thanks again, Mr. Bill North.
Thank you.
Wonderful.